ever thought of renting a house in Douala? Then this video is definitely for you. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Naya Doris, and today we'll be talking about house hunting in the city of Douala. Douala is the most populated city in Cameroon, and there is so much congestion, and the issue of housing is one of the most expensive things you ever think of in Douala. If you think of renting a house here, then these tips are going to be of very good importance to you. What should you know? What should you take into consideration if you plan to rent a house here? The first, finances. Douala, unlike other towns, is very expensive when it comes to living, but then housing is something that is really extravagant. Your finances and your budget should be well put in place before you ever think of renting a house here. Yes, when we talk of finances, it's not just about the 1 month rent, because for the beginning your landlord will be needing about 6 months if he loves you, or a year, which is the normal standard for the very beginning. Yes, you need to keep at least rent for a year. If you're needing a house for 30,000 francs, then you should be keeping at least 360,000 francs for a year. Or if you're lucky to meet a landlord that will love you, then you should be keeping 180,000 francs. Yes, that is what we mean by finances. So don't think that you need a house for 30,000 francs and you come with 30,000 francs to rent. No, you are making a very big mistake. Then the second thing you need to take into consideration, and you need to know if you ever plan of renting a house in Douala, is that you need a guide. When we talk about a guide, what do we mean? There are real estate agents that work in conjunction with landowners. They work together with landowners. They're like subcontractors. When house owners want have houses for let, they give them out to these people who look for the houses for them. Yes, you will look for a house. You might even come to a house where the owner is, and the owner will tell you there's no house because he has subcontracted this deal. You always meet their numbers at billboards on the site, on boards on the side of the roads when you are walking around, and this is where you can easily get them to tell you if there is a house anywhere or not. For instance, you meet this number here. I bet you that might not be the number of the house owner, but then the number of the real estate agent. So when you call these real estate agents, they're going to bring you in contact with so many other houses. In Douala, it is very difficult to move around asking people if there is a house for rent around and you get a reply. No, you should always be vigilant. Get in contact with one of these people and they'll lead you through. Then for an English speaking Cameroonian, you need to know how to speak English, speak French, because you will not meet somewhere written house for rent. For instance, the board we just saw, it was not house for rent, was it? No, it is alloué appartement, which means that you need to know French. You need to know French before you can easily get a house around the city of Douala. You need to know French to converse with people that you go asking around. You even need to know French so that you can read around and know that there is a house somewhere for rent, and who you can call. That said, the third thing that you need to know in case you go looking is that these people, they are not for free. For instance, if you see a real estate agent, for him to show you a house, you need to pay his transportation fees, and when he has finished showing you where the houses are, in case you take the house, you need to pay him at least 1 month of the rent of the house you have taken. For instance, if a house is 30,000 francs and your landlord agreed that you pay 6 months, know that you need to pay your landlord 6 months, and then the real estate agent that took you to the house, you need to pay him at least a month, which is 30,000 francs. So your finances, it still comes up to finances being the most important. The third is the area, the environment. Douala is a coastal area, and you will not like to live in an area where flood will come meet you. Some of us that are from Bamenda and the southwest region, where there are hills and slopes, we don't know about floods. But then in Douala, where it is slopes, you will find floods whenever there is rain, swampy areas, and whenever it's rain, water comes and meet people inside their houses. So that is something you should be taking into consideration if you are looking for a house in Douala. I love this street. This is a typical example of a street you should rent a house in Douala. The street is slopey, and this street, obviously the inhabitants of this street will hardly ever come weakness or flood. But then I bet you, if you are not in a street like this, it will be rare for you to get a street like this in Douala. If you don't have a street like this, inquire about the quarter and note its history. That said, you should also take note that the best time to look for a house in Douala is the rainy season. This is because at this period of the time there are rains, and you easily know if the place is muddy, if it floods when there is rain, and you will know where you are going into. If not, you will be asking yourself where I am. Actually, these are some of the things that people don't take into consideration when they are looking for a house. Also, having a good house, as I said, in a good area that is not flooding and that does not flood when it rains, also needs finances. So before coming to Douala, if you don't want to come and regret ever coming to the town, you should always budget yourself very well, not to be disappointed. The last factor that we should take into consideration if you ever plan to rent a house in Douala is security. Yes, I mean security, because life in Douala could be funny at times, but then you are coming to live in Douala for the very first time and you don't want anything funny. So living in a friend's house that is well secured will be of added advantage, and you shouldn't take that for granted as well. Like for instance, a friend's house like this one, all covered, should be your prior notice. You should take note that there is absolute 100% security in the house you are going to rent in. Security should be of primordial importance. Also, you should also take security because your money could be eaten. Yes, the subcontractors that you will be meeting that will show you the houses that are not the landowners, most of them will collect your money and they would dupe you. So you need to also be careful that the person that showed you the house, the person that gave you the contacts of where you could meet a house, is not the landowner. Be sure that it is the landowner, it is the house owner before giving your money. That said, I wish you a welcome to Douala. Enjoy your stay in Douala, and it is your clock for your entertainment and information. It's your girl Naya Doris, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.